existing law. And there is existing law regarding that particular issue.
So it's now 7 o'clock. This is our last question.
Okay. My name is. Thank you.
But it's still a pig.
My name is Kahil Dahlin. I'm new here to West Sacramento. So without any interruption or anything, I would really like to ask you a question, because whether we agree with you or not, or certain people do, I believe in your heart you feel like you're doing the right thing. So I would really like an answer. What would you say to those veterans that signed up to do their duty and had injections because they had to travel to Iraq and Afghanistan, and later were told, hey, your sleep apnea, your insomnia, depression, different things are because of what was given to you, and that is released by the VA. It is told to you about that. So I understand what you're saying, but I have 2 daughters, and sir, I know many people, and one of my good friends killed himself 2 weeks ago, and the VA told him that, I'm sorry you couldn't get the treatment that you needed, and indirectly the VA has admitted that these things that were given to us, and that was our choice to sign up for our country, and it's a sacrifice we have to pay. But what would you tell the people that I'm very concerned what is able to be chosen for my daughters, because in 20 years, what if it does come up that it was a mistake? Yes, and now some of us will suffer for the rest of our lives, and that's okay, because that was our burden to choose to do so. But for my daughters, that I want them to go to a good school. I want them to have the best education. I want the best things in this country for them. And that's why I did what I did. So what would you say? And I really do want to hear what you have to say about that. Because I'm worried about who chooses what is right for my daughters and the ramifications that we don't know that will happen in 20 years to those things, sir.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for your service. So I would say, first, certainly we want to base our policies on the best possible science, based on the information.
No, please, I want to hear what the man has to say.
Thank you. So we're basing policies based on the best possible science as we look at the information we have about what is necessary to keep our children safe and healthy in schools.
And what is that?
I would state that the bill was to be sure we protect our children who are in the community. Actually, not just children, but we have children in their schools who need to be protected against very dangerous diseases that they would be at risk at. For example, I heard from a mother whose child had a heart transplant, who of course is on medication to prevent her from rejecting her transplanted heart, but that puts her at risk of disease like chickenpox. And so, fortunately, what happened was that another family whose child also attended the school had one of their children catch chickenpox, and so she was sent home from the school because they were concerned, because you don't show any symptoms when you first are contagious, and so you can't wait till that happens, because she could possibly die if she was exposed. And so we wanted to be sure that we protect children like her. When we look at the science around vaccines, and there's a very substantial body of science around that, vaccines are constantly monitored, for safety, and so we want to be sure that we keep our children safe at school. And in fact, there are options for education if you choose not to vaccinate your children. So that is something that, well, it's those are actually options many parents have chosen for themselves even prior to the bill.
So is it, in your opinion, is it worth the risk of the many? Because if you contact the VA, or if you go sit down with a veteran that has insomnia, that can't sleep, that's a personal work life, would you say that it's worth that one lady, the few case, the small, is it worth risking the large amount of people?
So I would say that, first of all, we have, for example, we have laws requiring you to wear seatbelts, right? Now, I would point out that most vast majority of times, wearing a seatbelt is a good idea. I would also point out that every once in a while, someone actually may even be injured by a seatbelt, especially if it's not. So we still have laws. We still have laws protecting. Now, when it comes to vaccines, vaccines are very safe. They also protect other people in the community through community immunity, And so it's important to protect the safety of the school and the community by asking people when they're congregating together.
By 99% of people, the vaccines aren't.
Well, vaccines actually are widely supported by people. That you see polling. You can also see again the bill that was passed.
Thank you for answering.
Thank you.
I would just ask one thing: is please go to your local VA hospital and sit down with a couple of veterans that had to have vaccines that they choose, and that now, by gentlemen like yourself and scientists have been shown, hey, yes, this vaccine did cause this, and now you're suffering for that. So I don't know if you have or haven't. I'm not saying you don't, but I would like you guys to please keep that in mind and go sit down with some of those, because I've had 2 Marines kill themselves in the last year and a half because they had insomnia and they could not sleep, and it was directly said that that was because of the shots that were given to us before we were going out of that. So I understand that in your heart you're trying to do the right thing, but please do keep in mind, because I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I fight and fight and fight for veterans' lives, and these men and women are killing themselves. So please keep that in mind.
I want to thank you for your service. I would point out that none of the vaccines that are administered to children have insomnia as being an effect of the vaccination. There are some additional vaccines that are administered to the military.
So let's pray to God that my daughter's not standing here in 20 years saying the same thing that I had about a decade ago. So I understand right now, sir.
Senator Min, I would just like to, I want to thank you. The men and women of our police department and others here have families to get home to.
You're corrupt. All you guys are paid. You're all criminals.
But we very much
City police are
appreciate.
contracted. That's why they're going to do your bidding for you. But sheriffs aren't, and there's going to be sheriffs arrested. Everybody that sits there and sits there and supporting, you are all responsible for all this. Every one of you. You're the one paying for it. You represent other people. We know all about your guys' plans. You guys are all going to pay for
Thank you so much for your leadership on this work, and you know you have.
You congratulate each other and give each other back rubs, but we know the truth.
National Vaccine Compensation Program has paid out $4.2 billion in injuries and deaths.
Mayor should not shut down good public school programs for kids.